Hey, and welcome to the Crew Podcast. We are the hottest podcast rocking right now. We are currently looking for 6 amazing hosts to join our family for season 2 that will kick off February the 1st, 2024. If you're looking for an opportunity to allow your voice, your perspective, and your brand to be heard around the world and seen around the world, then join the Crew Podcast.
Aspiring Authors Magazine is a founding sponsor for Da Crew Podcast. Get featured inside the magazine and allow your voice to be heard around the world.
Aspiring Authors Magazine is an international magazine founded in May of 2020 by Queen Angela. Get featured.
Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Welcome to another episode of the Crew Podcast. Tonight, it is Prison Wives and Girlfriends. Y'all, I'm excited to be able to allow individuals to come on and share. Y'all know that I am an advocate for those that are incarcerated, and I hold this near and dear to my heart. For those that do not know me before I jump in, I am affectionately known as the Queen of Collaborations. My name is Angela Thomas Smith. I am the visionary behind the Crew Podcast, as well as the visionary of Aspiring Authors Magazine and AALAC, which is the African American Author Literacy Awareness Campaign. And I just truly believe that in order to see change, we have to be that change that we want to see in this world. So that's our motto over here on the Crew Podcast. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight for another episode. We are episode 165, y'all. 165. Again, I tell you, I have truly enjoyed this journey, y'all. People think we've been doing this forever, but we just started this in February, and I am excited about what God is doing in 2024. But tonight, I tell you, I'm excited about this show. We have some individuals that are married to individuals that's incarcerated. They're going to have an opportunity to share their perspective about being a prison wife and how that works, and anything that is laid on their heart tonight. So I want you guys to share this in your circle of influence, because you never know what the next person may be in need of. You never know what resources or what someone may need. So I'm going to move out the way, and I'm going to allow my guest, Miss Johnson, to introduce herself.
Hello.
Welcome.
How are you?
I am great.
My name is Shanette Johnson, and I live in California. My husband is currently incarcerated in Denver, Colorado. He's been in prison for the last 14 years. He was wrongfully convicted of a crime that he didn't commit.
Wow. I know that can be rough. I know that can be rough. So what has this journey been like for you?
Well, I actually just got on a journey with him a year ago. We dated as teenagers, over the years, we went our separate ways. And last year we finally reconnected, and we kind of hit it off, and then we just went on and just got married. And I've been on this journey. I learned a lot with about wrongful incarceration. 53% of the population that's wrongfully convicted are minority men, and it takes them almost like serving like 32 years to almost their life to get exonerated, and compared to another ethnic group. So I'm learning a lot on, just basically how the system is treating our men. I also seen a couple of women that was in prison on wrongfully convicted, where they actually are not giving the right like people to represent them. And it's just like they throw them up under the bus, and they have to fight for their life to come out.
And that's sad. I tell you, it wasn't until about, I want to say about 4 or 5 years ago, that I really realized that this was really happening. We've been taught to trust the judicial process and to trust the system, the justice system, because it's supposed to work. Well, in recent years, I say the last decade or so, we found out that that is not so true. And
Right.
we can go all the way back and trace it all the way back to when slavery ended. And I keep telling people, a lot of us, we're set in our ways and we believe what we've been taught, but a lot of us need to unlearn a lot of the stuff that we have learned throughout these years, because we've learned a lot of incorrect stuff.
Yeah.
And until we become educated about the law, and it's not hard. Like, we just got to read, because they put a lot of stuff in these books, and then they write stuff a certain way just so we won't get involved, because they think that we don't like to read. But I'm here to tell them this is a new horizon, because we got some
Yeah.
readers and some writers over here. We love to read and we love to write. But it
Yeah.
just disheartens me of a lot of the things that's going on. I'm not familiar with Oklahoma, um, Colorado. I'm not familiar with Colorado, but I know that in Texas and California are two of the top states for wrongfully incarcerated and
Yeah.
exoneration. I say Texas and California be neck and neck to see who's gonna win. So that just lets me know who's the most corrupt states it is,
Yeah.
and make me want to stay away from them. But if you would you like to share a little bit about your husband's story, to bring some light to it, so that those that are tuned in can really get an idea of what is really happening in the judicial system? And maybe if there's someone out there that have some legal expertise or know of some different ways that they may can assist, please share with us so that we can help how we can.
Well, his first trial ended in a mistrial because they didn't have no evidence. In his second trial, the day they went to pick the jury, it was a protest out in front of the courthouse. The DA had put on a protest for murdered victims, and they released doves, and the families came, and they did impact stories. So everyone that went to court that week was convicted of whatever they went to court for. If it was murder or whatever, they got convicted of. My husband, when during his trial, he he was oh, okay, let me get it. I'm a little nervous, and I told he was found guilty of first degree felony murder, but he was acquitted of first degree murder. And with that, how the wrongful conviction came in was they did not charge him with a felony. Under Colorado law, in order to get a felony murder case, you have to have an underlying condition, which is robbery, kidnapping, anything felony has to ties in that murder. And he was never tried. He was never charged with underlying felony. So that's where the wrongful conviction come in. And throughout all his appeals, they keep telling him, use the law, use the law. So he's giving them back the law, what the law states. And they keep saying, they keep denying. And, it's just like he's starting to get frustrated. Like, what am I supposed to do? They telling me to use the law and I'm giving them back the law. And they be, well, no, it's not written like that. Well, it is written like that. If you writing it right out the book, it's a mess how they treating him over there.
Wow. And they doing it to a lot of people. When I tell you a lot of people, I'm telling you, I have a list of about 50, almost 60 individuals in Texas, and how they have done those individuals. You talk about all white jurors. You talk about all Hispanic jurors. You talking that those are not my peers. My peers look like me. If I am a black female, then my peers would be black females or other white females that may be in my age group. If you're going to do diverse, but you have to have someone that look like me. How can you say a representation of me if they don't even look like me? So if they don't look like me, then how could they even begin to even put themselves in my place to even think like me? If you're not endured anything that I've endured, how can you even relate to me? That's one of the things that I have an issue with about, these all white juries, these all Hispanic juries. First thing is, a lot of them, they look at us and they've already stereotyped us. They've already stigmatized us. They've already placed these different things on us, and they've already counted us out. A lot of us, we got to go back. We got to go back to when slavery ended, supposedly. When it ended, supposedly publicly. They now have slavery in private through our prison system, because if you look at the amount of prison that do not pay their workers, and then some of these people are holding jobs like the job that we hold on the outside. They packing these people up on these buses and transporting them to plants, transporting them to different places, and they going in, clocking in just like regular people. So who's getting the money? Yet we having to send money, hear little ones talking about putting money on their book, putting money on this, on that, So what is happening to the money from the labor that they are providing?
It's going into their pocket.
And then they have
and then they're not
$1 million industry. But it's $1 billion. They say it's $1 billion moving into $1 trillion industry now.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And they also what I have seen is that they're medicating them. They offering them medicine, giving them medicated, just you need something to numb the pain, or if you if you get a life without possibility, they automatically think that you need to be on psych medicine, or and I'm asking him, how do I know this man is, he have a mental problem? Why do, every black man that goes in there need to be medicated?
That's their way to control. That's their way, and then they do a lot of testing. That's the easy way to do scientific testing on our people. You look at. I'm telling people, you got to follow the trail of a lot of things. You follow the money trail, and you can follow where a lot of this stuff is going, and who's getting the kickbacks, who's head of all of this, because somebody getting kickback. I
Yeah.
often, since I'm working with a lot of the inmates in Texas, I often Google corruption in Texas, and every single day it's like something new pops up. But my whole thing is, if we know that all these things are going on, why have we not been doing something about it? Now that I know, and once you know, you just can't sit
Yeah.
still and not do anything about it.
Mm-mm.
So now that I know, I have to speak out. I have to speak up. And I have to let people know that this is happening, and we cannot be quiet. We cannot be quiet.
We
I
cannot.
would love to know, how can we how can we support your husband? Um, do he have any
He has.
motions up before the courts? Is there anything that I know a lot of people talk about writing the legislating and writing. I know here in January, coming up in January, we're going to be doing some rallies down in Texas. We're going to start in San Antonio, and we're going to be doing a couple of different rallies where we're hoping we're going to march to the city hall, and then we're going to have a
Uh,
rally in front of the city hall, and we're going to have like a little community event where we're going to just be bringing people together in different organizations that that work on the behalf of justice for people that are wrongfully and overly incarcerated. Hopefully, they will come out and be able to, shed some light on different things. But most importantly, I want to address those people that are in authority, starting with the governor.
right.
All these people need to be held accountable. It's so
Yes.
many people
And
that they have said that if this is this, then this shouldn't be, and you shouldn't be incarcerated. Know that this is this and this is that, and that this person should be incarcerated. Why can't you walk over? Why can't you walk over and tell the person that has the power to make this happen? And why can't y'all make it happen? Why must we continually go back and forth? I got four
it's
clients
money.
right now. And then you listen at these lawyers. They want $100,000 for what? You're not even guaranteed that you're gonna get your loved one out. You just want my money. And then I listen to
Exactly.
all these people, like, and what they've done to these Mexicans. It's just crazy. It is just crazy. Like, they will just use them because they figured they got money, because they know they are
Uh-huh.
some hardworking people, and they just extort them. Because I'm listening
Yeah.
to a lot of these stories. I mean, just listen to their story. First, it is the language barrier that gets a
Yeah.
lot of them, and they just don't know the law. So they're putting all their trust in the judicial system and in the
Yeah.
lawyers and in the prosecution and in the judge, and then they let them down. Now, you
Yeah.
tell me, this happened this happened about 3 weeks ago in the great state of Texas. So I have a client that I work with, and I've been talking to his brother because his brother got a case, and it was a
Uh-huh.
new case. And he kept saying that he was like, man, these people took me. He said these police stopped me, the county stopped me, and they took me out my car and they took me to a church behind this church. It was some more police officers. It was about 8 police officers out there. He said these people threw me on the ground and they beat me and they tried to put drugs on me. Everybody said that man was lying. Everybody said he was lying. Everybody said he was not telling the truth. The judge, don't you know, the judge had tried to get that man. What did he try to get him? He said, if you take the plea, we give you 10 to 25. If you go to trial, you can get 25 to life. Now you know
And
that
that's
these people lying.
yeah, and that's what
But
they
you know that these people
did
lying.
to my husband. That's what they did to my husband. He said that when he was getting out the when he was setting up because he has his own business and he was setting up and they didn't have no warrant for his arrest. Then they took him down there. They because he wouldn't say like implicate somebody, they gave him the charges. And the man told him, just laughed in his face. Oh, we got you. We got you. And he said, what you got me for? I ain't did nothing. And so when he went to trial and the first trial, like I said, was a mistrial. Then the second trial, they acquitted him of murder after deliberation, but then they found him guilty of first degree felony murder without and they didn't have no felony to tie with the murder. So, how can that stand when they lost, saying that they needed a felony to go with the murder? And the guy got on the stand, said that the witness that the quote unquote the DA got, they cut a deal with this guy. He was supposed to do Fed time, and he didn't serve no time, but the guy that they put on the stand said that Juan Johnson did not rob me. And they still gave my husband the deal was 10 years, but he turned it down. He said he wasn't taking nothing he didn't do. He didn't want to say that, he didn't want to take it because he didn't do it. So once they found him guilty of felony murder, that's when the judge handed down life without the possibility of parole.
Wow. That's crazy. And we hear this too often. We hear this too often. Like I'm working with somebody now. These people don't have no evidence. When I say no evidence, all the evidence has been destroyed. So how can you convict somebody on destroyed evidence? If you don't have evidence, how can you convict somebody? And then now the state of Texas is in hot water because you got all these juveniles. So you got all these juveniles that have been a lot of them been locked up since they were 15, 16, 17 years old. Now it's time for a lot of these people to come up for parole, but they don't have none of their records. They don't have none of the juvenile records. And unless you just come in the system, if you are in your 30s, you in your 40s, you don't did 20 something years or more, they don't have your records. And then now they trying to get everybody to stay hush hush about it because they know if people complain and people bring it to their knowledge, they're gonna have to open up all these cases again.
Yeah.
And they're gonna have to bring these people back before a court. They're gonna have to bring them back before a jury. They're gonna have to bring them back. They're gonna have a whole bunch of cases because guess what? They've been putting these people in prison left and right. I got 8 women over here right now that's been incarcerated since they was 15 and 16 years old for stuff like because they was in a car with their boyfriend, and you give them capital life. How can everybody kill one person and only one person pull the trigger? How can you give everybody the same charge? You can't.
And
that's what they're doing.
You can't, and it takes me back to I was in Washington a week ago, and I had a chance to go to one of the museums, and they had, I'm trying to find it real quick so I can share with you. Um, Back in, let me see, see if I got it. Back in 1944, when they executed George Stanley Jr., the 14-year-old, they executed him. They said that he killed two white girls, and within 80 days of them being arrested, he was executed. He was the first. He was the youngest Black person to be executed at the age of 14.
And that's what they do to us. Like all the time. Like it's so many people. The state of Texas ranked the highest in exoneration and execution. There's so many people have lost their life innocently. That they've been innocent, but they're sitting on death row. You got innocent people right now that is sitting
Right.
in prison. That in the court has said in some cases that these people are innocent. They got it on paper. They're saying that they are innocent and that they should not be locked up. But then you go back and you present this to the state, you present this to whoever. They want to say that this ain't in their jurisdiction. This is beyond their jurisdiction. Who jurisdiction is it? And then
Mm-hmm.
if you want to be everybody want to be technical, everybody really want to be technical. If you go back and you really read the U.S. Constitution, it is illegal for them to even lock people up. We're not even supposed to be locking people up in the state, but we don't push it because we don't know. A lot of us don't even know the
Right.
U.S. Constitution, but that is in the U.S. Constitution. That is in the U.S. Constitution. So a lot of this, how these different states and these different judicial branches are operating and doing stuff should not be happening. And see, a lot of
Not
people
legal.
know now that we need, and see, they getting scared. And they steady trying to come up with different laws and different stuff. And see, they keep putting distractions out here before us, so we get distracted by so much that we
Yeah.
won't even be knowing what these people are doing while they putting all
Yeah.
these different laws into place. You talk September the 1st, the state of Texas put 744 laws on their book. Now, how many people in the state of Texas
Wow.
knew that 744 laws passed? Not one person can
Not
say that they knew that 744
one.
laws passed. And I can guarantee you some of them affected them. And I listen
Yeah.
to people often. I often listen to people talk about they don't vote in their local election. Your local election is what get those people to the
Yeah.
White House. They get those people to the state house. If you're not voting locally, then anybody getting in there, and then anybody can go and
Yeah.
represent you in the
Yeah.
state. Because I'm sitting
Yeah.
here I look at all these people. No, you want the right person to represent you at home so that you know. And just because they look like us, don't mean that they are for
Don't mean
us.
they for us.
Because you got a lot of them that say they for us and they
They're
vote
not.
the opposite direction. Because I see them.
Mm-hmm.
I
They
see a
sure
lot of
do.
these congressmen and these congresswomen. They are like
Yes.
and share your stuff, but when you write them about something and their hands is tied. If your hands is
Yeah.
tied, you can't do what we need you to do as the people, then we need to vote their butts out and we need to get somebody else in there that's going to
Mm-hmm.
do what needs to be done because it's too many of
Yeah.
us. Too many of us
Yeah.
behind prison walls.
Because I had written, and they like kind of push it out, sweep it up under the rug. Well, he needs to do this. Well, he did that, but you guys keep saying use the law, and when we use the law, it is not for us. I guess it's not for us. It's for everybody else, but it's not for us. Colorado did write the felony murder law, and they turned it into um a class 2 felony. So you have, like, they're not sentencing with life without the possibility. But the ones that's in there, they can't go back and use the new law. They said it's not retroactive for them. And then one of the councilmen said that I forgot his name. He said that he rewritten the law because the like the teenagers up to 30 years old, they're redeemable. So if you older than 30, you're not redeemable. You just a lost cause.
Like, first, they don't know you want to try these babies as adults. You know ahead of time that these kids, before they reach 21, 25, whichever one they come to realize that they still babies, that they still thinking as children, that they not reached
Yeah.
that adult mindset yet, but yet you charge them as adults. Then if you know that
Mm-hmm.
they are rehabilitatable, if you know they can be rehabilitated, then put these programs in place and rehabilitate them.
Right.
You but in the state of Texas, don't even believe, they don't care how old you are. They don't believe that you can be rehabilitated. Greg Abbott do not believe that you can be rehabilitated. They do not have programs. Most people that have been rehabilitated within the TDCJ have rehabilitated themselves. They have come up with their own programs, and they have began to work on their own selves because they want to get back out and be productive citizens. I know a lot of these people have been fighting. You talk
Yeah.
about 25, 33 years of being wrongfully and overly incarcerated. And they're not going to
Yeah.
stop until they home.
Yeah.
And when they home, the state of Texas is going to have hell to pay. So they might as well get ready.
Yeah.
They might
And
as
I
well get
think that's
ready.
what it is.
Well,
The
how
most
can
of these
we
states. Well, repeat that.
how can we support your husband? Is there anything that we can do from the outside to kind of help bring some light to what's going on with his
Well,
situation?
he has a change.org, Juan Johnson, change.org. You know, he been pushing that. We've been pushing that to get signature, and we also have a Facebook page up where you can follow it and get more information on his case. I usually try to post, keep everybody up to date on what's going on, but 2 weeks ago, I found my son non-responsive um, in his room when I was leaving to go to Denver. So I'm in the midst of getting ready to lay him to rest and still working, trying to bring light to my husband's situation to get him home, because right now is the is when I really need him here with me, because I'm doing this all by myself.
Wow. Well, I definitely want you to know that you are in our prayers. We here at the Crew Podcast will be praying for you
Thank you so
and your
much.
family. Um, so know that you have us praying for you. But yeah, if you would, if you just shoot me those links and stuff, I definitely will share them out and
Okay.
make sure that they're posted on our social media sites so that people can see them as well. But I want to thank you for pressing your way
Thank you.
and coming on and just sharing. Um, you're welcome to come back anytime. I'm not going to keep you long tonight, but know that you're welcome to come back anytime. I'm right here every fourth Monday of the month.
Okay.
So if you want to come back by, you're more than welcome to come back and share again. How can people follow you and stay connected to you?
Well, the number is I mean, the group name is Juan Johnson Wrongfully Convicted on Facebook, or you can just follow me on Shanette Whiteside at Facebook.
All right. Well, again, I want to thank you for stopping by and sharing with us on tonight, and know that you're welcome to stop by anytime.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
And I want to, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, I want to
You're
thank you
welcome.
guys for tuning in tonight. Like always, I truly appreciate you once because you never know what the next person may be in need of. You never know what someone may be going through. So thank you guys for tuning in on tonight. I am the queen of collaborations. We will be back on tomorrow night with another amazing host. Y'all, every night we're trying to bring you some content. We're trying to keep you up to date on what's happening in our society, in our community, in our world. We desire to see. I love you guys. Be blessed. And we will see you tomorrow night.